Every year, a group of students from Yeshivat Frisch competes in the Chidon Hatanach national competition. These students spend months preparing for the event, reading over the test materials and studying the psukim in depth. They do not do this alone, however. They study together, doing practice questions and quizzing one another on the material. They are scholars, contestants, and most of all, friends. This group of students is called the Frisch Chidon team, and this year they went all the way to internationals. Frisch has been administering the Chidon Hatanach exams for many years, but participants did not always have a team to study with.
We didn't have a team. We had a couple of kids, and with one exception was almost only boys.
Chidon is a very individual experience. Like usually, what happened in Frisch is Chidon actually became like a team and a community experience.
When I first became involved, I remember that Beni was the student leader of the team, and Beni Romm was really an important force in not creating the club, but making the club to what it is today.
He basically was very like, you could do this and you can go really far with it.
Creating the Frisch Chidon team was an initiative of mine in 12th grade when I was competing in the internationals with the dual purpose of creating a culture of love of Tanakh and Tanakh learning, and also creating a catalyst for sending many future Frisch students to the internationals.
The Chidon Hatanach competition consists of a series of tests on certain parts of Tanakh. There are 3 regional exams, which Frisch students take at school. Those who qualify then advance to the national finals competition, where they take another exam. The highest scorers on that test then compete to qualify for the international finals, which are held on Yom HaAtzmaut in Yerushalayim the following year. Through Frisch's Chidon team, competitors have the ability to study for these exams together and benefit from faculty members well versed in the Chidon competition.
I've been doing Chidon Hatanach since 6th grade.
I started doing Chidon in 6th grade.
The atmosphere that Chidon created for everyone and the extra learning that was involved with it really appealed to me.
To prepare for the tests, I read over the material and practice questions.
I find that using laning recordings helps me commit it to memory.
I like to read through the psukim in the Tanakh, first time in Hebrew, second time in English, to get it like the general narrative.
If a chavruta is helpful to like keep you motivated, then kal v'chomer, an entire club, will keep you like energized and like really excited about the whole Chidon experience.
We have like weekly cahoots and daily trivia questions.
I feel lucky that I'm able to be one of the captains and that I'm able to prepare other people for the tests.
Acting as captain for the Chidon club has been a lot of trying to keep build that excitement that former captains have given me, but it's also practically just preparing them for the Chidon.
Every year, students from the Frisch Chidon team qualify for the national finals. Some years, there are even students who qualify for the international finals and go to Israel the following year to compete in them.
When I went to nationals for the first time, it was a little scary because there were so many people there and I didn't really know what to expect, but it was just so nice to see so many people there who were passionate about the same thing that I was.
The most fun part for me is really not actually taking the nationals tests. They have lunch and that's nice to get to sit and talk to people. They also have games based off of Chidon in general or based off of the Chomer. And then they do 2 big cahoots, one in Hebrew and one in English on the Chomer.
It was really cool to see so many people across America that know Tanakh in the same way that you know it, and it was just inspiring.
I started learning in 9th grade. It was during COVID, so I remember like when I was in quarantine, I would study Tanakh, and then 10th grade, I placed 2nd place in the US. In 11th grade, I really spent the entire year studying, and then we had a 2-week trip in Israel. It was like a 2-week, think like very nerdy machach, where everything's sort of centered around Tanakh. And then there was like the competition itself.
In 2020, I participated in the International Chidon and got to third place there. It's a bit of an interesting year because the Chidon took place over Zoom, what with COVID. So I didn't actually get the famed trip to Israel, which is so vaunted in the Chidon world. But nonetheless, it was a fun time.
It was really an amazing experience. I got to meet people from all over the world who also knew Tanakh as well as I did. And I feel like I made so many friends that I will have for the rest of my life.
In 2023, Ilan Romm narrowly missed qualifying for the international finals in the tiebreaker round at nationals. In 2024, Ilan came in first place at the national finals, qualifying him for internationals in 2025. He spent this year studying all of Tanakh in preparation for the competition.
Coming into the nationals that year that I tied, I was thinking to myself, if I don't win this year, I don't know how I'm going to study even harder next year, because I felt that I had studied all that I could. But lo and behold, I found that I was able to study harder, and I managed to get the place that I wanted. I've been preparing for internationals in a variety of ways. It's been a lot of questions, like taking questions, quizzing myself. I've asked 12 of my friends to send me recordings for all of Treyasar. So I have a different voice for each book. Every time I see a pasuk now, it's like magic. I see a pasuk, I think of X person speaking in my head, and even if I don't know the words, I know where it's from.
My goal when working with students who have made it to the international round is to get into the head of the person who's writing the questions and try to mimic those same types of questions.
So I had the opportunity to learn with Ilan from the time that we were little kids. I'd say once I was out of the house in yeshiva, in university, now in the army. I have less time, unfortunately, to learn with him. I do hope that our experiences learning together when we were younger kids still prove part of his inspiration to keep him going.
I think that I definitely benefited from my brother's experience. Partially because he's there to encourage me, but more so because I have all his old study guides.
לכל אחד ואחת שהגיעו לבמה היום מגיע מחיאות כפיים, אבל רק אחת או אחד מהמתמודדים יצא או תצא מכאן בעוד קצת יותר משעתיים עם התואר כלת התנ"ך או חתן התנ"ך העולמי לשנת תשפ"ה. אילן רם, ניו ג'רסי, ארצות הברית, כיתה י"ב, ישיבת פריש. מה היה האות שקיבל המלך מהנביא על ניצחונו במלחמה?
אז האות הייתה חיצים. אלישע אמר ליואש to shoot חיצים הארצה, and every time that he shot would be another victory for Aram.
נהדר, קודם כל על העברית והאנגלית ביחד. מתחילים עם 77 שניות. מי אמר גם צונכם גם בקרכם כחו כאשר דיברתם ולכו?
פרעה.
נכון.
יפה. היכן מת יהונתן בן שאול?
הר גלבוע.
נכון.
מי מלך אחרי יהושפט מלך יהודה?
יהורם מלך.
נכון.
מי הנביא שאמר ביום ההוא הקים את סוכת דוד הנופלת וגדרתי את פרציהן?
נכון.
באיזה ספר נאמר גם את הטוב נקבל מאת האלוהים ואת הרע לא נקבל?
איוב.
נכון.
יופי. מה שם הנהר שלידו נרדם דניאל על פניו?
חידקה.
נכון.
כמה כהנים גערו בעוזיהו שיצא מן המקדש?
80.
נכון.
איזה יופי, אילן! במקום השני. סגן חתן חידון התנ"ך העולמי לשנת תשפ"ה הוא אילן רם, ארצות הברית.
This year, on Yom HaAtzmaut, Ilan came in second place in the International Youth Chidon Hatanach finals. Frisch congratulates him on this amazing accomplishment. The Frisch Chidon team is not just a space for students to prepare for the Chidon exams. It is a community of learners who help each other to reach their full potential in learning and loving Tanakh.
The Frisch Chidon team is great.
The Frisch Chidon team has always been an inspiration to me. Everyone in it works so hard.
The Frisch Chidon team is extremely dedicated to knowing more Tanakh, wanting to learn more.
Everyone has a certain love of Tanakh.
It's just an atmosphere of friendship and love of Torah that you don't get many other places.
My favorite part of the Frisch Chidon team is the people.
There's a group of people who understand your struggles and fun times with Chidon.
Everyone's always there to lift each other up.
And made, the Torah that I was learning meaningful, because I was preparing for it in a structured manner and I was learning it with my friends.
It creates like an environment of camaraderie and competition, both of which that I would say are very positive.
It was a very collaborative experience.
That's why I do Chidon. I don't do Chidon to make it to first place. That might be a potential motivator, but it's not why I do it. I do it for the community. I do it for the learning. I do it for Torah. I do it for Am Yisrael.
They're growing together as friends. They're growing together in their Torah knowledge. They're growing together in beautiful ways.
I'm sorry, you want my favorite pasuk or story in all of Tanakh?
That's a really hard question.
The Chaimya is a really cool guy.
Shmuel Aleph.
Sefer Yoel.
Shmuel, Malachim, like maybe even Shonim.
Ki'im b'tarat Hashem chefetzo, so may the Torah of God be your chefetz, your desire, however you want to translate that. Uve'torato yehegeh Yomam Valayla, and may you mediate in His Torah day and night.
Parshat Kitisa, Perek Lamed Gimel, Pasuk Yud Aleph, which goes in Misharto, Yoshua Benun, Narlo Yad Mishmito Ba'al.
Yoel, I feel is very underrated.
My favorite sefer is probably Chagai.
Yirmiyahu turns to the king of Judea and says, Hatimloch yatam tachareh ba'arez, avicha halo achal v'shata, ve'asa mishpat u'tzedakah, az tov lo. Dan din ani ve'avion az tov, halohi yadat otinu Hashem.
Amos is very snarky.
Sefer Shoftim has always been something that, I come back to again and again.
I know the song like Ki Karo V'Elacha, but I never realized it came from Devarim. So now that I realize that, it's really fun. It's a good pasuk.
All of Breshit.
Nahum is very, he's a poet.
I happen to love the Hebrew in the book of Eov.
Do I have a favorite sefer in Tanakh? Do I have a favorite pasuk? Do I have a favorite story? Whatever makes me laugh when I read it.